Okay, so this is happening, this is real, this is all over the internet, and hey, guess what we're gonna talk about? Yeah, this. So after Disney bought the rights to Star Wars and LucasArts and all that good shit, they've been looking for a director for Star Wars Episode 7. And everyone has been in the running for this. Joss Whedon, Ben Affleck at one point. J.J. Abrams' name was thrown around a few times. He's like, I'm not doing that, I have no plans to do that. Guess what? J.J. Abrams is directing Star Wars Episode 7. That shit is official. This is one of those things you hear about and you check the date. You're like, okay, it's not April Fool's Day, so this is real. No one has any reason or need to fuck with anyone's head. This is truth, and it's mind-blowing and crazy and awesome. My brain's going in 100 different directions right now. Abrams is a great choice, just in proof is in the pudding. Star Trek was dead. Then J.J. Abrams gave it CPR, and now everyone gives a shit about Star Trek again. So now we have Star Wars, and let's face it, Star Wars isn't what it used to be. Who do we get to reboot this? The guy who rebooted Star Trek. Which is funny, because Star Trek and Star Wars, when I was growing up, they were like bitter rivals. People were like, you know, Spock and Star Wars, and people were like, that's Star Trek. Now people can throw out the thing like, well, you know, same director, and just really infuriate old school fans. I love that shit. I can say that because I'm an old school fan. I had my Star Wars VHSs. I watched them every day right next to my Star Trek minted package action figures that I actually still have. That's real. Now that we have a director, I want to know who's writing the script for the new Star Wars movie. That would be good to know. J.J. Abrams is great, but if the script's written by Michael Bay or some shit, I'm gonna pull back a little bit and go, let's reevaluate this situation. And what you really have to think about is Star Trek. Star Trek Into Darkness is coming out. That's the second new Star Trek movie. I imagine the plan wasn't to reboot Star Trek and just have 2 movies, but the time frame is the new Star Wars movie is going to come out in 2015. This makes me really think and put my chips on, well, J.J. Abrams is probably not going to direct a 3rd Star Trek movie, which makes me pull back and go, okay, well, that's great for Star Wars, but Star Trek might take a hit. We saw what happened with the 3rd X-Men movie when Singer left. I think he's a great choice, and I imagine the thing that's going through his mind is when he made Star Trek, he wasn't a big Star Trek fan. He just wanted to make a cool movie that movie lovers would like. Happens to be Star Trek, but Star Wars he's a huge fan of. So he's got to be feeling that pressure a bit more. You know, he's like, these are characters I love. I hope his love for Star Wars doesn't compromise. It shouldn't, but it's something you got to think about. That is the world we live in. Those are my priorities right there. The president's getting sworn in his 2nd inauguration. Who gives a fuck? I'm not doing a video on that shit. J.J. Abrams directing a new Star Wars movie? Give me my camera. I'm talking about that shit right now. Man of priorities. This guy. So J.J. Abrams officially directing the new Star Wars movie, Star Wars Episode 7. I think this is fantastic news. What do you think about this? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.